You don't need to go to Niagara Falls when you can eat some Brian balls.
What's up, guys? This is OBB, the Diecast news guy, and welcome back to something that I have not done in a while, guys. A NASCAR Authentics wave review. Because if you guys remember last time, I did one was probably almost 2 months ago when Wave 3 was officially announced. So yeah, Lionel has been very slow. This is kind of old news, but Lionel Racing has been very slow releasing diecast, not only in the Gold Series, but also for NASCAR Authentics. But sorry this video took a little bit too long. I know Wave 4 just recently got announced, a couple weeks ago. I want to say so really cool. But yeah, glad to be back, guys, and ready to review this newest wave of NASCAR Authentics cars that we got. Wave 4, guys. We've got lots of interesting stuff to be talking about on this wave, as might as well give you down the history of how this wave was released. It was on the last few episodes of Lionel Racing's The Fix, and I believe it was on the 15th of May, I believe, just before I left for my Indy 500 trip. So yeah, they announced that, and yeah, we got ourselves a lot of cool cars to be talking about, and there are 10 that are in this wave, but one of them in particular is a very interesting one. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off this wave review, shall we? So we do got, I believe, we got like 3 exclusives in this wave. So, pretty much the exact same as we usually get. But we still got some 2018s as well in this wave as well, guys. So we don't still officially have a wave that has all 2019 cars just yet. It's probably going to be like that since, like I just mentioned, the waves have been very slow lately. But anyways, let's go ahead go down in numerical order, and I'll give you guys my nice thoughts on these diecasts. So the first one up, we got Brad Keselowski's 2019 discount tire Ford Mustang. So this is probably the big wave that if you guys are looking for the Ford Mustang diecast, here we go. This is the start of it, guys. We all know that the Rick Stenhouse Jr. Fifth Third Bank car, that was released in the Daytona 500 wave and in Wave 3. So we knew it was only a matter of time that we were going to get some Ford Mustang diecast. And this one, in particular, was not a big surprise. Paint scheme-wise, it's exactly the same as last year's, just with it has no contingencies at all, because like I've just mentioned on my latest diecast reviews, contingency sponsors have been dropping like a rock on like crazy, guys. And yeah, the Penske cars have no contingency sponsors at all, so that's gonna be a big difference to go off right at the bats. But also, of course, the Ford Mustang mold looks really nice and probably is going to be a hot seller just because of that. Next one up, we got the 2018 Chase Elliott Napa Dover race win. This car is surprisingly not an exclusive, because they also did made this in the Gold Series, because Chase Elliott, very marketable driver. So yeah, this car was made, so it's not exclusive for NASCAR Authentics. But I'm honestly not. This one was not a big surprise as well. With Lionel Racing, that they actually posted a teaser pic of this car. Well, they didn't show the car, but they showed the packaging, and it was number 9. So we knew we were gonna get another Chase Elliott car. It's just like how we did with the Dale Jr. cars back in the day. So not surprised, but gonna be an interesting one to get, especially since this is the first time Chase Elliott brought the Napa colors into victory lane for this team. So really nice looking car, if I do say so myself. Next up, we got a lot more Ford Mustang diecast to be talking about. These next 3 in particular. We got Aric Almirola Smithfield Ford Mustang. It's a much more updated paint scheme that we got from last year. Because they changed the paint scheme, I did towards the middle of the season last year, and they incorporated that paint scheme into this Ford Mustang body, and I must say, looking really sharp. I do like this car a lot. So another great addition for NASCAR Authentics. Definitely going to be a great side-by-side comparison, as I usually do on my reviews. So as far as the ETA is, I'm sure we're probably going to get, since this was released around May 15th when it was announced, we're probably going to get it around, I want to say, a month after. That's usually how it comes, but honestly, with Lionel being very slow lately, I could be wrong, but maybe we can wait until July. But I got a feeling we'll get it by, the middle or end of June, if we're lucky. But yeah, really nice additions. This one is not another, a lot of these cars I've seen are not really big surprises, but, like I just mentioned, the Ford Mustang diecast, we were going to get a bunch of those. And this one right here, Ryan Blaney's PBG Paints Ford Mustang, same scheme as last year's, but you gotta love this scheme, man. I definitely do love the PBG livery. I'm probably planning to get this car on 124 scale since I didn't pick up last year's car, but really am digging the Ford Mustang body. I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well, since that's the only mold that is going to be accurate with this with the 2019 cars. Because like I mentioned on my last few episodes and all my other videos, the Toyotas and the Chevrolets will not be updated to the 2019 standards. So, yeah. But, that's Lionel Racing for you. We'll probably get them updated next year, but but we know the aero package is probably going to change again. So, Lionel, man, they always like to be behind on something. But back to this diecast, guys. This is, you can't go wrong with the PBG paint scheme. Really nice looking car. Nice and bright and vibrant. And heck, I know people complained if it's the same scheme as last year, but, I'm glad they didn't change it. So glad to see that this is back in NASCAR Authentics. But like I just mentioned with the other Ford Mustang diecast, going to be a hot seller because it's the new mold. So can't go wrong with that. And this is the final Ford Mustang diecast that we got in this wave, and it is Aric Almirola's teammate. He's been very controversial lately now. Clint Boyer, the man who just turned 40 a few days ago, as I'm uploading this around the Pocono race weekend. So, yeah, we got a Pete car making a return yet again in NASCAR Authentics. We've had that happen before with Daniel Suarez in the Pete car from last year, and also when Boyer drove the Pete car for MWR. So, this sponsor is very familiar in the NASCAR Authentics line, so glad to have it back. And, it's a first for Stewart Haas Racing, so that is really cool to have this Pete car in NASCAR Authentics. And, a nice looking paint scheme, if I do say so myself. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get his Blue Death scheme in as well, since it's practically the same car, well, practically owned by the same company. So who knows? We'll probably see his Blue Death car in the next wave for Wave 5, if I'm not surprised. Let's see. This one is actually the first exclusive that we got in this wave, and it is a Truck 164. And no, it is not from last year's. It's not from this year's, guys. It is last year's car. As I'm going to show you guys right here, you guys can already tell it's a last year's car because it's Brett Moffitt's 2018 FR8auctions.com or Freight Auctions. That's the pronunciation of that sponsorship. So Freight, but I still call it FR8 because what the hell, I like to spell stuff out. But this is his Chicagoland truck race win. So this one was a big surprise. I really thought we would get some more ThorSport diecasts like the other two. Because we got, we had Chase Briscoe's and Matt Crafton's in the last wave. I thought we were going to get like maybe, I don't know, Infigures or Snyder's or even Ben Rhodes from last year. I was expecting Ben Rhodes' Kentucky win because they did made that in the 124 scale. I wouldn't be surprised that will be the next race one they'll produce. I know people are going to complain that this is a 2018 truck, but, this is, we're also going to be getting another, this ain't the only Brett Moffitt 164 that we're going to be getting, guys. His championship, Homestead win did made MOQs, so it will be in the 164 scale in the Gold Series very soon. So, I say this is a nice car to get, especially if you're a big fan of Brett Moffitt and also, the Hattori, race teams. So yeah, guys, I'm also hearing rumors that they are possibly making their first Xfinity start soon of the Hattori Racing Group. So yeah, that should be really interesting. Glad to see that team's expanding, as they were known that they were a well-known team back in the IndyCar days, from what I know. But yeah, really nice looking truck. Yeah, it is going to be. The paint team's probably not as exciting as like his Iowa win, the Smart Homes car, but heck, that probably could have been a better addition than this. But I can't go wrong with this. It's a race win 164 truck, so glad to see Lionel's doing that, and plus it is an exclusive, so you can't go wrong with exclusive diecast. But would have been something a little more nicer looking, but, I think the confetti kind of works perfect on this truck, so I say this is a great addition. Now this next one, I think a lot of people are going to be pretty disappointed in, especially with how late this car has been released, since, Lionel likes to release the race wins in order. They have gone out of order, guys. Like I just said, we got the Dover race win that's in this wave, and then last week we got, not last week, the last wave, we had the Roval win for Ryan Blaney and the Eldora win for Chase Briscoe. Well, we got Erik Jones' Daytona win in this wave. As you guys already could tell, this car was released way back a few months ago, way back, like even towards last year, the end of last year, in the Gold Series. So this is not an exclusive car. I mean, if they didn't release it in the Gold Series, I think this would have been a great addition. But since they already did, it is underwhelming. I mean, am I surprised that we got this? A little bit. I mean, this ain't the first time we've seen, the first time ever when we see a Cup driver get their first win made in diecast form. I mean, we did it with Ryan Blaney, but that was only in the Gold Series. And, of course, they did it with Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. So, I mean, it's not surprising, but I think they were just a little bit late into the game to gain this car released. It should have been, a Wave 1 edition, not Wave 4. I think it's a little too late for this, since especially we're about to come up. I mean, it's almost July, guys. This car is already going to be a year old. So, I mean, yeah. I think they had no other options. I understand they wanted to get a Joe Gibbs racing car in this wave, but I don't know, man. I think Kyle Busch's Richmond win, or the that just got released in the 124 scale, or his ISM win would have been a better addition than this. But, is what it is. It is a nice looking livery. I just said livery, not paint scheme. Whoopsie daisy. You know what I mean. Even though they toned down the confetti on this car, I mean, this car was covered with a lot of confetti, but as you can tell, Toyota wanted to show their logos, so this car is inaccurate. But you guys probably already know that if you saw my review on this on the Diecast News. But I'd say this is probably the most disappointing car that we got in this wave. I mean, some fans will agree or disagree with me on that, but that's just my opinion. All right, we got 3 more to be talking about, and this one, I mean, honestly, not surprised this car got. I mean, this wave's not really surprising, so I mean, but still something to talk about. We got William Byron's 2019 Hertz scheme. So this is the updated scheme that he ran last year, towards the end last year. So, I mean, we were expecting to get this, I mean, whether we liked it or not, because we did got the All-Star car from last year, which I still prefer that scheme a lot more than this year's, but it's starting to grow on to me. Not a big fan of that black that goes around the rims. I think it looks kind of tacky. But, simple looking car. I mean, it probably could, I don't know. There's something about this car that I think just, that just, I don't know. It needs more, I don't know. Maybe the white could probably do, that maybe it needs a little more white on this car. That's what I'm thinking, because it's just, I don't know. I mean, I know I like simple schemes, so this is just too simple for me. And a little cluttered as well, so I don't know. But to go along with this car, we also got this is actually the first time we got a repeat for liquid color cars. William Byron's Hertz scheme will be a liquid color chase piece again. So just like his All-Star car, that was his All-Star Open car, that actually is going to be another liquid color car. So I mean, that's a little disappointing. I mean, since I thought they were going to do some variety. Like, man, I think what would have been cool if they actually made the liquid color chase piece for Ryan Blaney. I mean, could you imagine that? That would have looked really nice. Don't know why I decided to do with this again, because we already got last year's Hertz car in the liquid chase piece. But oh well, I mean, still a nice addition. People are still going to hunt these chase pieces and, price gouge them on eBay, because that's mostly what their purpose are for. Am I right? Oh man, maybe one of these days I'm gonna have a nice rant to talk about the chase pieces and how I think that the situation has got pretty overwhelming with those cars. But anyways, back to the happy thoughts. I mean, nice, great additions, and the last one in particular was a big surprise, because we usually get 8 to 10 cars released in this wave, and we had 9. And I believe this car, the wave actually, you guys know, if you guys live in the Concord area, when they release the newest wave in NASCAR Authentics, usually they get it in the next day or so. So let's say if it was released on May 15th, I think for what some of my sources have said on Instagram, they got it on the Friday of that week, so the 17th of May. And there was a car that really was surprising that Lionel didn't even release, because there was a lot of controversy about this car. But I'm going to show you guys right here. This car is going to be in Wave 4, and this is probably the only time you're going to hear it talk about here on YouTube, since, it is pretty cryptic. It's the Kyle Larson DC Solar car. This was supposedly, for what I heard, well, first of all, DC Solar, you guys know what happened about the sponsorship. They've had a lot of legal issues, and they can't really be on, after they got raided by the FBI, they've been tarnished as a sponsor now, guys. I mean, they haven't really showed that much appreciation lately because of that, and lots of bad rep for DC Solar. And But supposedly this was the car that he drove at the 2018 Daytona Clash. And if DC Solar didn't got caught by the FBI, this could have possibly been, from what I heard, his 2019 paint scheme, which, my God, man, that would have looked so nice. I mean, he did rain this car, like I just said. He ran it last year at the Daytona Clash. But seeing this car run full-time would have looked amazing, and possibly could have also saved Ross Chastain's career. But, yeah, I mean, DC Solar, man, I mean, they just couldn't get away from the FBI. But in all great standards, guys, this is a really cool car, and it is a NASCAR Authentic exclusive car as well. But I understand why Lionel Racing didn't really want to promote this car because of all the controversy with DC Solar. So, I gotta say though, I mean, after this big surprise, I will say that, you know, I think that definitely made up for this wave, because this was a pretty underwhelming wave, guys. I mean, that there was a lot of no big surprises besides the Truck 164. I mean, the Chase Elliott Dover win was kind of surprising, but most of them we all expected to have. We were eventually going to get them, guys. But, you know, overall, what do I got to say about this wave, guys? I say it's a little underwhelming, but I think some of the exclusives are kind of worth getting. I mean, am I planning to pick up this whole wave and review it? I mean, absolutely, guys. I mean, you guys know I like to do that, and plus it gives you guys a lot of great content to look forward to on this channel, guys. Which, once again, I appreciate you guys' support of this YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for the 3,000 subscribers. You know, just keep clicking away, and we will get to many more videos, guys. But yeah, sorry this video has took so long, but that's just gonna wrap up my thoughts and opinions of the NASCAR Authentics 2019 Wave 4, which should be released at your local Walmarts and other details for the retailers very soon. Probably, I want to say, late this month or the middle of this month. But until we get some Wave 4 reviews cracking down, guys, this has been OBB, the Diecast News Guy, and I will catch you guys on another NASCAR Diecast video.